I'm sitting at the small kitchen table again, the one with the loose leg that wobbles if I lean too far to the left. I meant to fix it years ago. I even bought the little felt pads once. They're still in a drawer somewhere. It's late afternoon, not quite evening. That slow part of the day when the light comes in low through the window and settles on things like it's tired too. The house is quiet in the way houses become when they've outlived their noise. The refrigerator clicks. Somewhere in the walls there's a soft tick, like something cooling down. I'm 78. I still say it in my head sometimes, like I'm checking a fact. 78. It doesn't feel like a number that belongs to me. My hands are on the table. They look like someone else's. Thin. Spotted. A small cut near the thumb from yesterday. I don't remember doing it. There's a cardboard box across from me. Not a big one. The kind you'd carry home with groceries. I took it down from the hall closet this morning. It was on the top shelf, behind the winter coats I don't really wear anymore. I didn't know what was in it. Just that it had been there a long time. The tape came off easy. Dry. Old. Inside were small things. Not important things. Not the kind people fight over. A broken watch. 3 buttons. A folded paper bag from a hardware store that closed before my son finished high school. And photographs. I'm not spreading them out. I'm taking them one at a time. I've learned not to rush things like this. The first one is bent at the corner, a little tear on the side. It's of a kitchen. Not this one. The old apartment on Green Street. The one with the yellow cabinets that never quite closed. I'm sitting at the table in that picture too. Younger. Thicker through the middle. Hair still dark enough to pretend. She's standing behind me, her hand on my shoulder. I don't remember the moment. I remember the kitchen, the sound that floor made, the way the sink backed up if you ran it too long. But I don't remember her hand on my shoulder. That happens a lot now. I remember rooms. I remember light. I remember where things were, but I don't always remember what we were doing inside them. I set the photo down. There's another under it. This one is outside. A sidewalk, cracks like thin rivers. She's holding 2 paper cups. Steam coming up between us. I can almost smell it. That cheap coffee smell. Burnt. Sweet. We used to walk down to that corner place on Sundays. Not every Sunday, but enough that the man behind the counter stopped asking what we wanted. We'd stand there, not talking much, watching cars pass. At the time I thought that was nothing, just a way to pass an hour. I didn't think of it as something we were building. I turned the picture over. On the back, in her handwriting, it says, "Cold morning," you complained. I didn't mind. I let out a breath when I read that. Not a laugh. Just air. I complained about everything. The cold. The heat. My back. My job. The way the toast came out too dark. The way it came out too light. She used to say, "You don't have to narrate the whole world." I thought she was joking. The box smells like paper and dust. A little like the inside of books. I reach in again. There's a small spiral notebook. The kind you'd buy at a pharmacy. It's thin. The cover is soft from being handled. It's hers. I know because of the way the first page curves. She always bent the corners without meaning to. I open it. The writing is small, not neat, but careful. Lists, mostly. Milk, soap, call electrician. Tuesday, your appointment. Find blue thread. I don't remember her keeping a notebook. I remember her head. She kept things in her head. But here it is. A life, written in fragments. I turn a page. Your shirt on the chair again. I moved it. I always move it. I sit back a little when I read that. There was a chair in the bedroom, by the window. I dropped things there. Every day. Shirts, pants, coins. She cleared it every night. I never thought about that. Not once. There's a sound outside. A car door. Someone laughing. The world still does what it does. I turn another page. Talk to you about the fence. You nodded. I don't think you heard me. I remember the fence. Or rather, I remember that there was a fence. I don't remember the conversation. I look around the kitchen. The clock above the stove says 4:12. It hasn't worked since last winter. I keep meaning to take it down. There was a time I would have fixed it. There was a time I fixed everything. I worked maintenance at the textile plant for 36 years. Boilers, belts, motors that screamed before they died. I knew the sounds of things when they were about to fail. I don't know the sounds of myself. Back then I came home smelling like oil and heat. I'd stand in this very doorway well, not this one, the other kitchen, the earlier one, and she'd wrinkle her nose and say, "You're not coming near me like that." I'd raise my hands like I was under arrest. Then I'd go wash. The water would run brown at first. She didn't like the smell, but she always waited. I didn't think of that as waiting. I thought of it as routine. The notebook is lighter in my hands than it should be, as if it's already letting go. There's a page where she's drawn a small square, a window maybe. Inside it she's written, "One day we won't live here. Remember this light." I don't know which day she wrote that. We moved 3 times. Always for work. Always because something was cheaper, closer, better. I never cared about the light. I cared about parking, about the commute, about whether the basement flooded. I closed the notebook. Not because I'm done, because my fingers have started to shake. That happens sometimes when I sit too long. I stand slowly and carry the box to the counter. The kettle is still there. The dent in the side from when I dropped it. She said, "It looks like it's been in a war." I said, "It still boils." I fill it and set it on the stove. The sound of water is loud in a quiet house. While it heats, I lean against the counter. There's a mark on the wall near the doorway. A dark line. That came from the refrigerator door. The old one. Before this one. We argued about replacing it. I said it still worked. She said it was eating electricity. She said, "You don't see the slow leaks." I said, "I see what breaks." The kettle begins to murmur. I take down one mug. The chipped one. I used to use the blue one. She used this. I don't remember deciding that. It just happened. The kettle clicks off. I pour. The steam rises. For a moment it blurs the room. I carry the mug back to the table. The chair across from me is pushed in. It always is now. I sit. The box waits. I take out another photograph. This one is of me, in the garage, holding a piece of wood. She must have taken it without asking. She did that sometimes. I look serious. Busy. I remember that project. A shelf. It took me 3 weekends. She asked once what it was for. I said, storage. She said, for what? I didn't have an answer. The shelf is still in the garage. Empty. I set the photo down. There's an envelope in the bottom of the box. Thick. My name is on it. Her handwriting again. Not shaky. Just hers. I don't open it right away. I hold it. I feel the paper. The crease where she folded it. My name looks strange like that. As if it belongs to someone who isn't here. I think of the last months. Hospitals. Plastic chairs. The sound of carts rolling by. I think of the way she slept at the end. Mouth slightly open. Breathing like she was walking up a hill. I sat beside her. Every day, I told myself I was doing everything. I don't remember what I said to her. I remember the beeping. I open the envelope. Inside is a letter. 3 pages. Not long, just steady. The first line says, I don't know when you'll read this. I stop. The tea has gone untouched. Outside, something moves past the window. A shadow. Probably a person. Probably just going somewhere. I read slowly. She writes about the house. About the mornings. About the way I used to clear my throat before speaking. She writes about small things. The way I folded towels. The way I never closed drawers all the way. She writes, we were never loud, but we were here. I feel something press behind my eyes. Not sharp. Just there. She writes about the plant. About waiting for my car to turn the corner. She writes about sitting on the bed, sometimes after I left. Not doing anything. Just listening to the space close. I didn't know she did that. She writes, you always thought time was something you used. I stop there, because that's true. Time was hours on a clock. Shifts. Weekends. Retirement. It was something you spent. She writes, I think it was something we were standing inside. I don't know how long I sit with that sentence. The light has moved on the wall. The tea has a skin now. My hand is on the letter, not holding it, just keeping it from moving. I'm aware of my breathing. In, out. The house makes a small, settling sound. I think of all the days that felt empty, all the ones I didn't notice. I thought the important parts were loud. Births, deaths, jobs. I thought the rest was just in between. But here I am, at a table, with a box of things that didn't announce themselves, and they are heavier than anything else I own. I don't finish the letter. Not today. I fold it back the way it was. Not carefully, but close. I put it back in the envelope, back in the box. I close the flaps. The box looks smaller now, as if it's already done what it came to do. I move it to the floor beside my chair. I sit there. The light continues. At some point, the refrigerator will click again. At some point, it will get dark. I don't reach for anything. I don't try to fix the table leg. I just sit. And for the first time I can remember, I don't feel like I'm waiting for the day to start. I feel like I'm in it. That might be the difference. I don't know. My hands rest on the wood. They're still. I can hear myself swallow. I can hear the room. I think of her clearing the chair at night, of the way she wrote things down that didn't need saving, of how I never thought to ask what she noticed. I don't have a thought that finishes itself. They come, they slow, they drift. The box is by my foot. The letter is inside. The clock on the wall still says 4:12. I don't correct it. I don't think I need the time. I think I'm already here. And that feels different. Not better. Just different. I stay that way for a while longer. Then a while more. And when I finally breathe out, it feels like something has reached the end of what it knows how to say. So I let it stop.